So there we go. Fiji is a wrap. I'm sitting in my caravan in Portugal and I've just watched the live stream the whole night. We're going to have to play you some scenes. If you haven't seen the action, it was insane. There was, cloud break. I don't know if you know much about cloud break before, but now you definitely do if you've watched the live stream. Some super critical sections, you could see riders just going, should I hit it? I could be in the final, and then making the decision. And in that split second, it's too late. You got smashed. So we're going to play a little bit of the live stream just while I wait for Paul Van Bellen. We're going to be speaking to Paul. He's over in Fiji. But some of the scenes, this is from today, just the highlights from the final. I've just screenshotted it from the live stream, but it is available online on the IWT YouTube channel. It's on Windsurfing.TV on the website, Windsurfing.TV. I've just put all the links for there. So it's just in case you're wondering where everything is, if you go there, you'll be able to see them all. YouTube can sometimes be a bit confusing. But how was it today? Let me know in the comments if you stayed up in Europe and watched it, if you're somewhere else in the world, because it was proper. Look at this. Baptiste Clarec. I mean, he was a standout in every round, in every condition, on the first day when it was massive, in the small day, and then again today. Look at that. He took a fair few poundings. He absolutely took some lickings, that's for sure. Oh, Masugi, I think that was. He had a couple of late ones as well. We're going to go through the results because it's not so clear at the moment, and there's a reason for that. But there was one thing clear. In the men's fleet, Baptiste Clarec was the man to beat. Just the way he was riding the place, it just looked like he was loving it. It's port tack down the line, port tack spot. And he's been waiting for this. You could see it. He just looks so in sync. Real quick bottom turns, big airs, straight back up into the lick. No hesitation. Like, no hesitation whatsoever. He never second guessed himself. He always went for it, always had a plan, always knew that wave will peel, even though it peels very, very fast, almost like a closeout. But he was so fast, he was able to keep up with it. I mean, amazing stuff. I have to say, his board looked like it was working well, but I think the rider on top of it was just really in key. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the riding. That is just absolute bonkers. And some of these sections, which probably don't look as gnarly as they can do because it's from the drone, so it's looking down, you can only imagine being a rider looking at that lip. They were thick lips, and he was just punting. Look at the state of his riding. He was just teeing up aerials after aerials. Now, sometimes people go, oh yeah, but it's just aerials. But that wave is so fast. If you do a vertical turn, you're probably not going to make the wave. So the aerial was the choice. And as we saw from Brazinho's crash the other day, it ain't as easy as just hitting the lip and doing a nice aerial. You had to be on the money. So there was a few clips in the women's fleet. If you didn't follow that, Sarah Hauser, absolutely. Well, she wasn't leading the whole way. It looked like Sarah Keita. Had got it fixed up. And then Hauser got this pretty sick wave near the end, and that took the victory. So the two winners are very clear. Sarah Hauser in the women, Baptiste Clarec in the men. First competition win on the pedal wave for Baptiste puts him in world title contention. He's an all-round sailor, good down the line. Like I said, if you are just tuning in, we're going to be getting direct comms with Fiji, hopefully, depending on the signal. But there has been some controversy. There was 5 people in the final. You're like, Ben, what do you mean there was 5 people in the final? There should have only been 4. But we heard on the live stream, I actually can probably tee it up if I do something well. But anyway, I'll just explain to you. With a place like this, when you lose your gear, it gets smashed. I don't know if you saw any of the stuff of people losing their gear, but this is it. Look at this. This is in the semi-finals. Just check out this. This is what happens. So when you lose your gear like this, you end up on shish kebab reef, aptly named shish kebab, which is basically very shallow reef. Your gear's probably going to be wrecked. If not, it's a long swim. It's hard to get back out. So there was jet ski assistance. Look at this. Anton Martin. Oh, Check out the one behind. I think Sugi gets eaten as well. But anyway, so you end up on the reef, you get a jet ski out. Now the sailors all decided, check out that. Oh, actually, that was the wave that got Sugi into the final, and then he got steamrolled. Oh my God, sorry. I'm still watching this now. I'm still like taking it all in. It is heavy, 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 heavy. So I'm getting distracted. So you get a jet ski and see the yellow buoy. That apparently is where the jet ski, I think, can bring you out to. Then it has to drop you off. A couple of the sailors were going past the yellow buoy. On the live stream, look at this. Oh, Mark Paré. Oh my God. Have you been watching the live? If you haven't, tune back in for this. Sorry, it's crazy. If you're listening audio only on Spotify, I apologize. You're just watching the videos of some of the highlights from today. So a couple of the guys, I'm going to pause the video. I can't concentrate. A couple of the guys were going past the yellow buoy, and it said on the live stream, Simeon said, Robbie Swift asked the driver to drive past the yellow buoy. So I'm watching the stream thinking, ooh, that's a bit dodgy. But it apparently, again, said on the live stream that that affected the result, and maybe Antoine Martin would have got through if he hadn't have had the advantage. Again, it's just going off on the live stream. So it was decided that Antoine Martin would also advance into the final, like a last minute thing. And everyone's like, again, we're all watching going, wow, that's could cause some problems. Sure enough, at the end of the heat, Antoine Martin ended up finishing second on the results. I don't know the official results yet. We had Baptiste Clerc, star winner, 100% guaranteed. In second, with 5 people in the final, it was Antoine Martin, Ricardo Campello, Swift, and then Sugi. I'm pretty sure that was the lineup. But there was some complaints saying, why is he in the final? What's happening? And that was then the discussion. It is ongoing. I'm sure it's been cleared up now. I'm sure when we hear from Fiji, we will know. And there's been some hard rules. But there is some words around going on like that. So just to give you an idea, that is what happened. You know, obviously some people are saying, well, the first offender to go past the yellow buoy should get the punishment, because then the others then were like, well, hang on, he's going past the buoy. I need to go past the buoy. Yeah, but then other people are saying, well, it happened in other heats. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's go to the comments of our comments. What we got? Ben Country, better than the old seagull. I don't know. I'm so lost. Like I said, I'm just catching up with all the live stream. I stayed up to watch it, but just trying to get it all to sort of sink in. I do like watching a bit of the highlights from today, just to give you an idea, though. We'll watch them as well. Every Monday. Does every Monday start like this? No, it doesn't. Thomas, great event. But with some controversy in the final. Yeah, that is what I'm hearing. That is definitely what I'm hearing. I hear there's big controversies. 2 to 5 places is not even sorted out. Apparently, yes, I got that as well. Baptiste happy. I mean, there's one thing we do know is Baptiste won, and he thoroughly deserved it. No one can take that away from him. So I'm glad that is not the controversy. Anyway, Paul says the whole event was epic. Everything done on social media and YouTube made the event. I mean, I've always said this. What you don't want in a competition is a nice, easy wave. What you need is consequences. And if you watch today, I should try and find the other video of the other final, because man, there was some serious consequences. Serious. People would go, oh, look at Sugi now. He makes that and then gets absolutely smashed in the aftermath. I think Mark Paré got absolutely obliterated. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh dear. Like I said, we're waiting for Paul Van Bellen from Fiji. We're hopefully going to speak to a few riders. Again, I'm still in the caravan in Portugal. We're doing this on a shoestring. I got to say a massive thanks to everyone who's chipped in the beer money to support Windsurfing.TV, because it helps me justify this to my missus. She's like, what are you doing in the caravan talking to random people on the internet about windsurfing? Well, it does make it sense. When people are chipping in for all the other stuff, then I can justify doing this as a windsurf fan, like speaking speaking to you boys and girls, putting it all together. So yeah, that is how we're looking right now. Like I said, these are just screen grabs that I took from earlier. So apologies if it is a little bit jumping around a bit, because obviously my screen grabbing was not great. So we're still waiting for the results to be officially done. In the women, I should tell you, I should actually just get off the men for a second and see how that. Oh, it's not so easy. I know Sarah Hauser won the women. Second place was Sarah Keita off Ringer. And third place, it looked to me like Jessica Crisp was going to get it. Again, I'm still waiting for those official results. Oh, it looks like we have somebody over in Fiji. Let's bring him in.
Ben.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm having slight technical problems. Can you hear my voice loud and clear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I had this microphone, but the little transmitter just decided not to switch on. So I'm just using the mic and the phone. So anyway, how you going?
All good, man. All good. How is it for you? Obviously, Paul, if you've just tuned in, this is your first one. Paul's been flying the drone for the live stream. So, I mean, it is literally the only camera angle that works when you're sat on a boat in the middle of the ocean with mast and a half high swell. So, you know, you have been very much needed this week, and also the behind the scenes stuff. What was it like today filming the action?
Oh, it was a bit nerve-wracking because obviously didn't want to let anybody down to get the footage. And I mean, how often are you in 10 to 15 foot cloud break with the world's best windsurfers on a sailable day? Yeah. I mean, it may happen only once in my lifetime. I don't know. So
I was just going to ask Paul, just sorry, cutting in. When we're watching it, I'm getting kind of excited going, oh, when you're filming it, is it like you're watching it, or are you just fully in the zone? Or are you like, oh my God?
Oh, no, I sort of play it like a bit of a video game, you know, like you obviously got the joysticks, and in my mind, I've got the best seat in the house. Yeah. You know, everyone's looking from a boat long way away. I mean, I guess the other guys who have a great seat are the guys in the water. I mean, that's probably even next level because they're in amongst it all. But no, look, I loved it. You know, like filming these guys is so much, is so exciting, and they do amazing things. And yeah, hopefully the people out there enjoyed it. I mean, it's certainly not easy to film off a boat with all the logistics and the rocking of a boat and everything going. I mean, it's hard to explain. You know, it's not. You know, there's a lot going on a boat, and a live stream, people shouting and running around, and you know, some kids running around off with your landing pads, and you're like, where's the landing pad? I've got to land the drone. And I mean, you know, there's a million things going on. But I thought, what I thought, Ben, because I mean, I was doing the drone stuff, but I thought I'd bring a few guys onto the podcast, a few of the sailors and you know, whoever. And I have my first guest here for you.
Marvelous.
So what I'll do is I'll pass it on, and then I've asked a few sailors here, and they'll come on. So first guest is Alex Granguillon. Hello. So he's gonna sit in the seat, and okay. He'll hopefully. Can you hear Ben? Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Mate. Yeah. Off you go.
Alex, how we going, man?
Hey,
you good?
Hey everyone. Hey Ben, how are you?
So quick question. Where were you watching today?
Sorry?
Were you out on the boat today?
Yeah, we were on the boat. Like everyone were on the boat, and we were sailing at like 30 minutes before the first hit, and it was big. It was like maybe like the first day, and it was impressive. And at the moment they put the flag, we go out and we just watch from the boat.
Yeah. So just give people an idea at home how scary that lip is, because the lip of that wave.
Because it looks like a bit more smaller in the photo than it is really, and man, like, you know, there's a reef like in the middle of the ocean, and you are in the boat, and I don't know, here especially there is some energy we are here. The wave is so powerful, and like it's scary.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, I
it's,
can
it's a
imagine.
bit scary.
How sharp is the bottom? Is the bottom sharp? Do you like? Do you cut yourself if you touch the bottom? Is it, or is it? I mean, it might be a stupid question, but sitting at home, I don't know.
Well, if you are too close with the boat.
Yeah, no, like on the reef. How sharp is the reef?
On the reef. Oh man, 2 days ago, I was surfing and I finished like my ass on the reef, and actually like I have I destroy my leg, and
Really?
it's very catching. Yeah, it's very catching. So
How,
even like
how?
when it's low tide, the rocks are very close. So you finish on the rocks for sure.
Okay, so watching the live stream today, the earlier heats looked harder than the final in terms of the wave. The wave in the early heats looked horribly scary. Is that because it was lower tide in the earlier heats?
Yeah, it was high tide at the beginning. No, sorry, it was low tide at the beginning, and after the tide is gonna go higher and higher,
Okay.
and so the wave gonna begin to be bigger and bigger, and yeah, I don't know if everyone saw the live, but yeah, it was big. It was big like the first day, so. It was super light, huh? Like everyone
Yeah.
was on 4.5, Baptiste was on 4.0, but Ricardo was on 5.0, 5.3, and
Baptiste was on a
Robbie also.
4-0.
Yeah, Baptiste was on 4.0 with 70, 70, 80 liters.
Blimmin' heck. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know, but watching the video, I have to say, Baptiste looked like he was on a different level.
Yeah, like during all the contest long, like he was, for me, he was super smart in the choice of his wave, and he was like doing amazing thing on the wave, and you know, before maybe he can go a bit too much, but actually he's super mature, and he doing like amazing thing on the wave, and everyone say like he's the best. Actually, he's the best here in Fiji, but he was doing super thing.
I think, like, watching the video, he definitely is the deserved champion, I would say. He really looked like he was just on form, like really did.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Robbie gonna say the same. It's just here. Yeah.
Who we got? Swifty.
What's up, Ben?
Mr. Swift. I thought you might have get it, mate. I thought there was a chance.
I thought there was a chance, but it was pretty light today. Like Baptiste had a little advantage from being so little, but no, it was amazing. It was a pleasure to be out there. I mean, today, honestly, if it was like 4 knots windy, it would have been the most insane day of windsurfing of all time. I mean, it was pretty good anyway, but it was really hard.
Yeah, you could see. I was just saying to Alex, those first heats looked scary, and then the final, it was scary, but it looked more makeable somehow. Like the wave looked like it was lining up a bit better.
It was just, it went slightly more offshore. I think that was what happened. Like in the first heats, it wasn't really offshore. It was kind of like side shore.
Okay.
So it was difficult to get down the wave, and in the final, the wind was a little bit more offshore, but it was so light. I would like to be on a 5.3, but I destroyed my 5.3, then I destroyed my 5.0, and then I had to back up 5.0, luckily.
How much gear did you destroy in the semis? Is that just today or previous?
I destroyed my 5.3 before, and then I destroyed the 5.0 in the semis. Yeah.
Bloody hell, man! I'm just trying to move that one. So, do we know the results yet? Have we got official results? Because there was some controversy, I heard. Is that sorted?
I think we do. Yeah, I think it's sorted out. I think that they put Antoine out there just in case he was in the final, because there wasn't time to do, a resale or anything, because there was some controversy about jet ski stuff. But I think in the end of the day, everybody was gaining the lift back up to the peak on the jet ski. Everyone did.
Yeah.
from the beginning of the first semi till the end of the second semi, and then in the end it was decided that what he was asking to be reinstated wasn't right. I think that's what happened. I don't know exactly.
Okay, but that's not official yet? Then we don't. We like the 4 finalists. We should just take out Antoine.
I think that it's the 4 fight. I think that he was 5th anyway in the final. I'm not sure. But yeah, what I heard was it was 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Takuma, and then he was 5th.
Okay, well, congratulations then. 2nd place. 3rd place.
Was I 2nd? No, I think I was 3rd. Yeah, I think it was a tight battle with my roommate Ricky Barbie.
You got one near the end.
We got it at the end. Yeah, no, I sailed super carefully on all of my waves because I didn't have any more gear. If I broke anything, that was it. I was done. I mean, I did have a 4.7, but there's no way I would have got a wave on a 4.7. So yeah.
You look good though. You look really solid.
I would have loved to gone for it a bit more.
Like just watching the video. I was speaking to Simi yesterday.
No, I felt okay. I was just being gentle.
Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. You go, man.
I'm here. No, it's fine. You can talk.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, watching the video, I know I was speaking to, I think it was Brian yesterday. We're talking about who's going to go for the win. And again, not that I didn't back you for the win, but I thought maybe you just take it a bit more easy than someone like Baptiste, who's got this switch, who's a little bit looser, who might just risk it all. But to be fair, maybe I got that wrong. But with the gear, maybe it actually worked out right.
If it would have been a little tiny bit windier, I would definitely. And if I hadn't have destroyed my 5.0 in the heat before, I would definitely have gone for it more. Yeah. But I went. I think I only got 2 waves actually, or maybe I got 3. Yeah. But in the semi-final, I definitely only got 2 waves. There was just literally, it was 28 minutes. There was no wind whatsoever. So it was a lot harder than like the other day, even on the big day. I think I got 6 or 7 waves, and then you could start going for it a little bit. But if you haven't got any backup wave yet, you kind of have to take it easy, don't you? And then the heat was done. So.
But I guess you've watched some of the footage back. Does the footage do it justice? Because it obviously looks sick on the footage. The lips look crazy. But is it just even scarier when you're there, or like I would kind of try and.
It's scary because it's really shallow and it's really heavy. But the footage makes it looks pretty beautiful from the footage, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic. Like if it wasn't for the fact that it was so light today, it would have been absolutely incredible. Not that it wasn't incredible anyway, but it was like the waves were so clean and so perfect. I was surfing like all morning before, and it was just crazy how good it was. It was just like we just missed like maybe 5 knots to make the most epic day of windsurfing of all time, but it was very close up there, I think. Although this guy right next to me thinks it was the most epic day of windsurfing of all time.
Hey, cheers, Robbie. I've got to say, congratulations, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You were I'm just going to speak for the whole of the internet that was watching. You were just the standout. Every condition, every day, you'd watch the video and just go, this guy looks like he's just right in the zone. You must have felt pretty comfortable at it. Why do you feel comfortable? Well, is there anywhere you've been sailing that's kind of similar to Cloudbreak? I don't know if that's even possible. Hey, cheers, Robbie.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite the same as Brittany. It's like quite light and quite some big waves also, but of course it's more powerful here than Brittany. But yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And even with a small wave, because the wind is offshore, it's always perfect, you know.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and also I think it's really nice that we've had a port tax spot which is down the line now, because I obviously know you go to Cape Town every year, you sail a lot of port tax sailing, and it's been a while since we've had like on the Peter A Tour, now it's joined together like a proper down the line. I mean, I've seen you sail in Cape Town at what's the Outer Com?
Yeah, it's big wave. Yeah.
Similar or not similar?
I think it's more powerful here, but bigger in Atacom, I think.
Yeah.
Bigger, but here it's more powerful. Yeah, super powerful.
Just one. What equipment are you using? Give me some sizes, because I was speaking to Bernd the other day, and he told me you designed. He said you stitched your sail together. To quote him, you stitched.
Yeah,
your sail together.
I did one, yes, but I destroyed it like today just before my eat. I went just to train, did the air, went straight, but was low tide, so destroy all the sail completely.
Oh,
Like when it's low tide, it's like you can walk on the rocks, but like some waves, like 2 meter wave, break on you on the rocks. It's a bit the same as Punta Preta, but even worse.
my God.
And I destroyed completely one rig. So then I only had 1 week left, and I was on 4-3 with 70 liter for the final, with the production bar.
How heavy are you?
I'm like 62, 63.
Bloody hell, man! Bloody hell!
Yeah, I'm light.
Yeah, but I tell you what was really impressive about your sailing. You were sailing so fast. Your bottom turns, your mast is hitting the wave because you're so close to the section. I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was definitely working. Is that a conscious thing, or that's just how you adapted to the wave?
Yeah, I think it's just how I sail. It's always like this. I don't know.
Oh man, well, congratulations. First place in Fiji cloud break. That is absolutely epic, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I got nothing else to say apart from just well done. It was a pleasure watching. It was so good. And I'm so glad you won, because if you hadn't have won, I'd have almost felt cheated. I was like, he has to win. You've done everything. Yeah. And I was just hoping that the final you didn't have some, because it could easily go wrong in cloud break from what it looks like.
Easy. You can do like one thing wrong, and then you're fucked. Even in the final, I went in the rocks.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
It wasn't like I went in the rocks.
Now I understand that you only had one rig. You weren't taking it easy. Well, you can't if you want to win. I guess. Yeah. You've got to go.
Yeah, you're gonna go, and if you go straight, you're fucked. You go on the reef, and that's it.
Also, I mean, I've been sailing with you for a few years, and I always said to people, this guy's got some skills and he's a bit crazy. But I'll be honest, winning the comp, I thought maybe you might go too crazy, but you sailed. Yeah. So, I mean, you sailed enough crazy, but enough reserved to not totally kill everything.
Yeah, I played safe this time.
Well done, man. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, dude. Well done. There we go. Baptiste, the winner of the Fiji Pro 2023. Is he a world title contender? I tell you what, he might well be. He might well be, especially where the points are going at the moment. If you've got any questions as well for anybody on the live stream, let me know. Kai Cachadorian, how's the vocal cords?
I am just done, Ben. I cannot emphasize how rad that was. I feel like interviewing you.
Man, I tell you, watching it has been a pleasure. Like, I got up early this morning to watch, I wasn't sure what we were going to get. And I tuned in to some of the most hardcore, absolute beatings I have seen ever. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, the level of punishment was up a notch. I mean, I'll take you through today just based on what Cloudbreak looked like when we pulled up. Round, square barrels coming in. The first thing I see is Koa Rothman pulling into this house and just getting blasted out. And he just did one of these claims. It was just like one of those mind blow claims. This is somebody who's like surfing pipe at the highest level, like it's nothing. Yeah. Like just the surf was just insane. I'm kind of like fumbling around looking for wax and kind of engrossed into that whole situation. But the wind started showing up, and it was really, it was apparent that we're getting ready for showtime here. And it was nothing short of this jaw-dropping scenario here where, the conditions started improving and they had this warm up, and then they just got into it, man. And hats off to all the sailors who put it on the line. I mean, everybody, including, my friend Campello here.
Whoa, they're all there. How we doing, man?
Yeah, we're gonna be giving you an all-nighter here. There's people with a lot of things to say. I just want to, be more along the lines of appreciating it, just like you were. Like, as fans of the sport, man, like, this was a monumental day. This contest delivered on it a lot of big levels, and a lot of stories behind the scenes in terms of some of these performances, and what it took to actually keep going and going on the rocks and persevering through that. I mean, like, Takuma Sugi's got like scars on his face.
Really?
Like, from hitting the reef. You see these wipeouts, man. But like, oh yeah, he's got total, like, he's got
he had a bad one
almost
today.
stitches.
Actually, Kai, what you've got on your screen now?
Yeah, that cutback.
There's a couple of big ones coming, like crash. This, I think I tuned into the live stream about this time.
Okay, let's see it.
It's there's a couple here.
Okay, so you were just in the fever pitch of some of these late sequences.
Yeah, like, look.
Oh, there was that sequence where, between Sugi and Martin, I could barely contain myself. It was pure carnage. But, Sugi, there was Martin just getting detonated. And Sugi had this huge cutback that he got scored on really nice, got a really big score on before the detonation, where it was a really critical turn. I think this might be it coming here.
Our internet's really slow.
Okay, we're slow. That's Sugi getting detonated.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the prevailing themes of this. And like, we had this award that Fiji Airways, we were calling the one-way ticket award. And that was, Brazilia was running away with that until today. And now I don't know.
There was a couple of contenders. Look at this. This is just. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
For anyone listening audio only, you've got to watch some of this. That is brutal, isn't it? That is. I mean, you can laugh about it because it's on the screen, but in real life, that is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, crazy on the screen, but to be in there, whoa.
Cloud breaks a really heavy wave. Cloud breaks a super heavy wave, and the way it's bending in is, a couple people weren't reading it correctly. A couple people were, getting soulful in a situation. They should have been running for their lives. And, like, that really happened a lot. Johnny Price, before the event started, he was going out. He gave me this assuring nod, like, there's going to be some carnage today. He was just affirming it. And I think that he recognized the fact that, there was going to be some people who hadn't really dealt with this type of a situation before. And it is deceptive. Having sailed there a couple of days ago at, a pretty good size, comparable size, was that this thing starts turning around the corner and it just goes. You have this moment where you think you're on some soulful looking wave and it just starts running on you. And there's more than a few instances in today's action where guys are just getting lit up when they think they're all good and ready to get, a little cruisy bottom turn, and cloud break just comes and slaps you upside the head. So the carnage was one thing, but I mean, I just maybe, need to give a nod to Baptiste Clarec, your guest before me, and just how well he was sailing, and this whole new level of riding that a lot of these guys are getting into with the critical placement. And that's just, again, as a fan of the sport, just being in awe of what we just saw. This is going to resonate for a while. We've got a lot of stuff to pour over now.
For sure. And talking of which, let's get Ricardo on. I want to hear from the horse's mouth who was out there today, because that's pretty.
We've got it.
Brutal.
Take it easy, Ben. And thanks for all the gratuitous content here. We'll talk soon, huh? Ricardo. And talk about his buzzer beater in the semi.
I know.
Don't forget that part.
In the final.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Ricky, in the final, that last wave got you second.
Sorry?
That last wave in the final got you second.
Yes. Well, I only got 2 waves though, so yeah.
Yeah.
It was super hard. I mean, I was basically on the final, on the semis and the finals with 3 other midgets.
Are you allowed to say that? Probably, this new world we're living in. But I know what you mean. They're light. How heavy are you? Just to give people some context.
Oh man, they put music here. I can't really hear. What's that?
Okay. How heavy are you? Just to give some people some context.
I'm 82 kilos. I'm 82, and I was using my 5.0 in the semis and my 88
which is the board I've been using since I got here, including that big day before, the contest started.
Yeah.
And on the final, I rigged my 5.3, which I didn't really want to do it, but it was super, super light. So I had to compete against these super light guys. So I had to, at least, because I think in the wave, it doesn't really make a difference. But to get planing, I mean, we didn't really plane, but yeah.
To position yourself.
It was tricky. Sorry?
To position yourself. That's the tricky bit, because I've seen that at Who Keeper quite a few times. The finals at Who Keeper come down to who can get in the right position. And if you're light, obviously, it's easier for you to get into position.
Yes, exactly. I mean, Baptiste is super, super light. I think he was sailing with a 4.2, and you can see how many waves he caught, and I really have to be selective and made sure I actually the wave I caught was a keeper, because you can waste so much time, going all the way, and then you get washed to the reef, which it did, but that last wave saved me, so it was all worth it.
Yeah.
But you gotta be, we lose like 7 to 8 minutes to go back to the lineup once you get away with how light the wind was. So, a couple guys got washed. I only got washed once, but it was after the heat, and a couple guys got washed and got towed with the jet ski, which is kind of an issue where we had in the finals.
Yeah.
But apparently they made a decision now, and Antoine was not counting on that final, so I ended up second, which I'm super stoked.
I mean, that's a solid result. I mean, have you ever sailed cloud break before? Your first time, isn't it?
It's my first time. I was stoked that I made a call to come a couple of days earlier to score that big swell and get familiar to the spot, which is every time I sail here, the conditions the waves are different,
Okay.
Sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's really hard, and today was super, super hard and yesterday too, actually, super offshore winds and small waves, but the wave is perfect. It's like I don't think there's a better wave in the world for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty mad, actually, because I know you changed your ticket to fly out earlier to score those extra days. Baptiste as well. So first and second, it obviously made a difference, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I a lot of people sailed his first time here during their heats, and that's exactly what I wanted to avoid. I actually sailed 3 days before, like that big day, the day after, and one day that nobody took the windsurf gear, which was a little bit onshore and messy, but it's still a day is a day.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I made that decision. Baptiste is sailing really good. He really deserves to win this event. He's ripping. He got big balls, and I'm happy for him, and happy that I made that I got second place. And I'm not 100% happy with how I sailed, because I actually wanted to do more vertical turns, but it's super hard, especially with the offshore and light winds. And happy to start the year like this, and can't wait for what's next.
It's
interesting
here. Yeah, I'm going to definitely come into her in a minute. I'm just saying, it's interesting you said about the vertical turns, because you could see today you couldn't go vertical because you just wouldn't make the section.
If you go vertical
have a small board and be quite.
If you would go vertical today, you had a chance to make it, but most likely you would not make it and get washed all the way to the reef, and you'd probably destroy your gear and waste a lot of time. Yeah. So I was trying to play safe, but in that semifinal, my last wave, I risked a little bit more, because I said to myself, it's all in, I gotta go big or go home, and it was worth it. I actually tried an aerial in the end, and when I looked where I was gonna land, it was dry reef, like completely dry reef. Like,
really?
Luckily, I didn't land in front of the wave, but in the back. and yeah, I cut myself here, and my sail like didn't break, but I think something touched the sleeve and completely ripped the sleeve of of my mask. But yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it because that made me go to the final.
The thing is, and I've said that to a few people, but you guys have sacrificed quite a lot to make this event happen. And I think, obviously, from a fan's point of view, looking in, it's been well worth it. I know, like I say, a lot of people paid a lot of money. The organizers have paid money, but just seeing it happen like it did, I feel like windsurfing really needed that difference of an event with, super critical consequences. It made it feel really real.
Yeah. I think the shots from this event and it's gonna be for the books, and I think you're right. That's what windsurfing needs: perfect waves, blue water, and amazing action. So I really hope this event brings windsurfing to where it needs to be, and hopefully have more events like this in the upcoming years, and leave the next generation with a good events to compete on. And yeah, hopefully the budgets for the industry increases, and yeah, hopefully windsurfing can get back to where we all want.
Yeah, let's see. Let's just get some outside sponsors in. All right, Ricky, nice work, mate. Second place, solid.
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers, dude.
See you. I'll leave you to the queen now.
Okay, let's put her on. Here she is.
What's up?
So was that just like Peru? Because I know you did a bit of training in Peru before coming there.
I mean, the basics of it, yeah. There was a wave. I was going down the line, except it was like twice the size. But the wave is so smooth. Like in Peru, it was windier and a bit more chop, and here it's just like super smooth. It was amazing.
So I know I spoke to you before, just in case you're listening audio only. We've got Sarah Keeter in the house. You finished second. Is that official? I'm just making sure it's official. Yes.
Yeah, that's official.
Okay. You was a bit scared that it might be a bit big. Was that what you were scared of? What you got?
Terrified. That's always been my thing, because Aruba doesn't have, where I'm from, there's not big waves, and I didn't grow up with it. So I've only been learning over the years, putting myself out in those conditions during competition, usually at the Loa Classic. And this has been one of the other events where it would be way out of my comfort zone, and which it was again today. But somehow, I don't know, once it was in the heat and on the wave, I started to enjoy it. Like, again, like the wave is really smooth. There's a channel. You can make it out if you want. And yeah, so I feel like I'm learning along the way.
Yeah. Did you get many sessions in? Did you get many sessions in before the competition?
So I sailed yesterday when it was tiny and low tide. So I had an hour session, but nothing that was similar to what we sailed in today. So the only thing I did right before my heat, I didn't want to go out, and because I saw people getting washed on the reef, and I didn't want to risk that. So I just went out maybe 20 minutes before my heat, and I was just lining up with the other riders and seeing where they were catching the waves and stuff. And I feel like that helped a bit. And also the session of yesterday with the smaller wave was also useful. But again, like the heat was just these are waves that I haven't really sailed. I mean, I watched.
So I haven't got a screen grab of the women's heats, but when I tuned in, it was the semi-finals, your first heats. It looked so scary, like, because that inside section just looked like it was impossible, and I could see you girls lining up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I couldn't watch on a few of them. I was like, it looked terrifying. Honestly, it looked so scary.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me. All of these days, I've only been watching. I didn't get a chance to get on the water. But once you're on the water, you feel way more in control and way more. It feels less sketchy when you're out there, because you decide how much you want to put on the line, or how safe you want to be.
Yeah.
So I don't think I actually ever went for the inside section because landing on the reef is just not ideal, not ever.
Yeah.
I think. And for the heat, my tactic was mostly to try and get on the bigger waves because I tend to not have enough patience and I grab whatever I find. But here I learned that it's better to be on the bigger one. And and just try to get some good turns in. I wasn't going for broke. I was just trying to be safe, basically.
There was a moment
And not
between.
necessarily as a heat. Yeah.
No, go on.
No, so it wasn't necessarily a heat tactic that I had to go safe. It was more a survival tactic, just to
because there was a moment between you and Sarah where you were both going for the same wave. She was more upwind, you gave her the wave, but then that put you in the middle of the break, closer in than you'd probably like to be, and then I think you took one on the head. You remember? You probably don't remember.
So I think I definitely remember. I had to dive for my life. So the thing with Sarah, I think that was fine because right after that there were 2 good waves, but then Jessica was on. Then I was super in, so Jessica and Coco grabbed those waves. And the thing is, I saw Sarah get on that wave, and I saw like 3 nice turns from the back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get one more wave. And actually, the opportunity came, but I was quite deep, so it was really steep, and I just got a little bit. I freaked out a bit because I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. So I bailed out of that one, and then when I turned around, there was an even bigger one behind, and that's where I said, okay, there goes my heat. And
that is exactly what I'm
I had to dive.
I'm just trying to find it, but maybe I haven't got it.
It was.
It looks scary.
So that's the only thing I'm a little. Yeah, that's the only moment I'm a little bit bummed about because I feel like because I just heard Ricardo say like you go big or go home, and that was my moment to make that decision. But it was just the size of the thing I was on, and in that moment, just I decided to, stay safe again.
I mean, it looks light though. It is light.
Having said that, like again, I'm just really happy with this result. Like it's not conditions that I sail in all year long.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. So I was just trying to find a couple of waves. I don't know if you can see it.
I was riding a 5.0 and 88 liters, so actually I was floating around happily, to be honest.
How? I know you might not like to ask a lady her weight, but what you've got, like 10? How many liters? 15, 10 liters? What's usually do you go, or you go bigger in
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a few people asking who won. So Baptiste correct won the men, just in case you are tuning in, and Sarah Hauser won the women. Sarah Keita in 2nd place. Was Jessica Crisp in 3rd?
So here actually,
there's a bit of delay.
Yeah.
Hang on, it's delaying it, Sarah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Carry on.
You were asking about the board, right?
Yeah.
I only rode my big board, which is the 88 liter Hyper, and I think for me it was ideal. I could maybe be on the 83, like to have like maybe easier turns, but just for going upwind and catching waves, it was for me. I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, no, it sounds.
And I was on a 5.0. So, but I was not. Yeah, I think I weigh about 75 kilos, 74. So it was.
So there's a delay. So every time I sort of say something, then you hear it about 5-10 seconds later. It's my fault. Just for anyone who is listening on audio only, we've got a bit of delay, so I'm confusing things by speaking. But yes, Sarah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
It's like a 10-second delay. I was just checking how long a delay it is. Anyway, are you coming back to Cloudbreak if it's on? I guess I know the answer to that.
I think so. It is a dream wave. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, I think it's yeah, everything is way past my expectations. Like, I've been only been watching these days, and today was the only day that I actually scored conditions, and it was way past my expectations. So yeah, it's really as amazing as people were expecting it to be, I think.
Okay, well done. I'm going to end it because I think the delay is getting to a point where it's going to be very awkward. So thanks for joining. Maybe we've got some more people to talk to, but it's going to be hard. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you, Ben.
Okay, no worries. So there we go. We've got a bit of delay going on, so I don't know how. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Benny, is everything all right?
Okay, yeah, I decided to go a bit of delayed, which is always those awkward conversations that I used to have about 20 years ago with my parents, and I'm abroad, and it's like, hello, you're like, hello, and then you start talking, and then you get out of sync. So it was getting a bit awkward there. I was like, oh God.
Oh wow.
No, it's all good.
I've been walking around doing other things, but did you get some good like info?
All good, man. All good. Yes, everyone seems happy. It sounds like we've got the results sorted. I guess maybe Antoine Martin's maybe not happy, but I mean, that sounds like a fair result that they put him in because I know they couldn't have made the decision. So it makes sense now. They had to put him in because if they'd have changed their mind afterwards, it wouldn't have been able to do it. So they put him in and then they make the decision afterwards, which I guess there's different ways of looking at that, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's good. I can see a few more happy faces at the moment. I think there was quite a few people feeling like a lot of things were unfair, but I haven't seen Antoine though. I'm not sure what's happening with him. That might be. Maybe I should try and find his room and bust in with a camera. No.
I'll be waiting for the behind the scenes.
No, it's all cool. But damn, I'm about 3 days behind with all the behind the scenes. My phone is full with stuff, but I have had no time to go through it. It's hopefully the next coming days I'll try and piece some stuff together. But anyway, it's been an interesting event, and in the end, we really did get very good conditions for a final, which is, not something that's going to happen every day. So
I think what we did find out by having the event here, you find out you're only ever going to do a single. I think that's confirmed. Like I could see how tricky it is to even do a single. You just, people were complaining at the beginning. Oh, there just isn't time. So that's one thing. I got another question. Are they going to still do the Masters heat or is that off now?
I don't hear any talk of Masters heats.
No,
I think didn't. When we were going, I think that what's hard here is the forecast. Like today, the forecast was saying that the wind really wasn't coming in till 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and then we got out there at about 12, and the wind was starting to build. And by 1, I think Simeon was thinking, we probably could have run a Masters heat today, but it's just tricky, And when we got there, there was 20. I mean, it was pretty awesome to see cloud break. It was a classic cloud break. It was 10 foot consistent with the odd 15-foot bombs coming through. It was like you see in the videos, and all Billy Kemper, Cole Rothman, a whole bunch of big wave chargers are out there, and there's about 20 guys in the lineup. It was a pretty heavy sort of scene, and then all of a sudden the windsurfers turn up, and 30 sails all over it, and you could see the jet skis cruising around, telling, "All right, guys, I wish I could have been out there with a camera to see the jet ski guys telling the surfers to get out, because a lot of them kind of feel like they almost own the joint, you know what I mean? Like cloud break is an interesting break, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I know nothing about it. What I do know is what I'd like to know is did anyone stay around to watch the windsurfing? Is it like, or is that they just like, nah, rubbish?
No, a lot of them just take off, I think. Although having said that, in this yesterday, there was a boatload of surfers that were just hanging around for about 20 minutes, and Antoine and a few guys were out there and busted out some big airs. And I remember hearing a few like, whoa, wow. I did hear some guys Yeah, I mean, look, you'd have to be almost dead to not be impressed when you see these guys out there, because I think from a surfer's point of view, they're interested in getting barreled, basically at cloud break. And on a windsurfer, you're not getting barrel, but when you see them hit the lip and boost a huge aerial, that's something that it's obviously you're not doing on a surfboard. So even though it's pretty impressive, and the turns that a windsurfer can do out there, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on this, but I feel like the windsurfers are doing more critical turns because it's just the speed and power that the windsurfer has to really hack that lip. Whereas a surfer can do it, but you've got the power of the sail in your hand that you can leverage off, and you can really move some water off the top turn, you know? So, but you know what it's like with the surfers and windsurfers. A lot of these windsurfers here are excellent surfers. I mean, they're excellent, but there's obviously a lot of surfers out there that don't really respect any other surfing craft unless you're on a surfboard. It is, you know, it's that old thing.
Yeah, it's a shame actually, because like you say, a lot of windsurfers got big respect for surfers. Maybe it doesn't go the other way, but I will say we do have someone who's in both sides now in the form of Kai Lenny, and he's definitely bridging the two, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think, I mean, you talk to the Fijians here who basically meet all the top surfers in the world. They're shipping people from all over the world out to Cloudbreak every day, and they love the windsurfers. Like when I speak to them, I said, "What?" So they meet everyone, Kelly Slater and all the guys. I said, "What do you guys think when you see the windsurfers here?" And they're like, "Oh, it's awesome! Like they love it." Like because the Fijians don't have that cultural baggage of like, "Oh, I'm a surfer, I'm a windsurfer." Like they're just open-minded to whatever they see, and if they like the look of it.
Yeah.
So I found that the Fijians I've met here have just been super stoked with it. But I guess it's the others. Like, yeah, I mean, some surfers are just a bit stubborn with thinking that the only way to ride a wave is just on a surfboard.
Yeah,
but
it's
obviously
interesting.
There's different ways to go about it.
Yeah,
depending on the conditions.
It's definitely interesting. Paul, there's a question for you here from Paul. Can you ask Paul if he's going to put out the behind-the-scenes edits as soon as possible? Or when does he leave Fiji, and when will he continue more work behind the scenes?
Yeah, look, tomorrow I'll probably do some work on it. But I've just hopped off a boat, eaten some food, and need a good night's sleep. And then tomorrow I'm probably going to have a barrage of sailors asking me for footage, and I haven't even looked at any of the footage. I haven't done anything.
Haven't done anything.
Yeah, I would like to. It is one of the priorities, because if I leave it too long, it just gets out of hand. Otherwise your phone piles up, and I'd love to get it out. There's some funny things in there. There's just not enough. There's not enough time, actually, I was talking to Maciek before, because he was asking a few questions on the WhatsApp. He said, "Oh, we know what's going on," and I called because I thought there was a lot of messages, and I was like, I can't read through all this. I don't have time, so I just called him, and I was saying to him that my experience here in Fiji is you could literally make a full-on reality show, like of what I've witnessed here. It's like you sort of think of windsurfing. I mean, my experience of windsurfing is you drive down to the beach, you rig your sail, you might a few other windsurfers around. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, good. Blah blah blah. Go for a windsurf, do your thing, come in. Oh yeah, it's all cool. Go home. Well, it's a little bit different in an event like this. It's quite. There's a lot of dramas. There's a lot there's competition. People are competitive. I'm not actually that competitive a person. But people are here gunning for a world championship or something. It's not my world. I'm not living my life gunning for a world championship, basically. It's not, and I know it sounds obvious, but until you're in it and you realize, oh, hold on a second, this is actually real. This is for them, or, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that obviously creates quite a lot of drama. Yeah, it creates drama, and people get very passionate. You see, if they win a heat, I mean, they're very excited. And if they lose a heat, they're in mild depression. Well, I mean, okay, that might be a bit extreme, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
they're quite
but
down. You can't talk
100%.
to them, and they're actually walking around kind of with their head down, and not necessarily, you know, it takes them some time to accept it or something.
Yeah. No,
So
100%.
yeah. Yeah, so that's
100%.
and just there's so many stories, you know, and the thing is for me, all these little dramas and stories, like you could create some kind of show, but then added on top of all that, you go out to a place like Cloudbreak and you watch the best windsurfers in the world do amazing things, which is just the icing on the cake as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like you go out there, like you sit on the boat and you go, wow, that was amazing. Like it's anyway, it's I don't
But
know
I
if it'll
tell
ever
you
get done. But yeah,
what by watching your behind the scenes stuff, I think makes the other stuff way better, because you start to have a vested interest in certain characters. It's the same in any sport. I've been saying it for years. When I grew up watching windsurfing, the old videos were very good at selling the characters, because they had so many tour stops and they had so much money and so many cameras that you would have all these little stories going on. So then you sort of create this image like everyone does as famous people. You create this image of them, and if you like them or don't like them, or you're fighting for them, or you're back, you know, there's all different ways you can look at it, and you start to have your favorites and you're not favorites. And like I said, the storyline is just heightened by then the competition, and then who beats who then adds to this whole other stuff. I mean, that's
right.
it. That's the dream, isn't it?
Exactly. But I kind of somehow attempted to do that, but there was, I don't know, what, 40 odd sailors. So it was just a bit overwhelming in the time. I mean, it's almost like there's too many to get through. I don't think, you know what I mean? It's like in Formula One, what is there, 20 drivers, 18 drivers, something. So at least it's probably a number that you can get your head around. And even in say, Formula One, they really only focus on maybe 10 of them mainly or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's a bit, I mean, there's still people here that I haven't really even sat down and chatted with, just because I'm like, it's too much. There's too much going on.
But from what you've done so far, I think you've done above and beyond what I would have thought is possible. I mean, it's nice because the place is in one place and everyone's around, but even so, it's still a lot of work to be able to do it. And then even just to put it out there, because you still, even though there's limited editing, there's still editing. And that means you have to watch it all back through, cut out the good bits, bad bits. So that's already, I don't know how much time. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know how much work that is. And I just hope people appreciate it, because it isn't a quick thing, even though it might look like it.
Yeah. No, for sure. It just takes time. And I just don't have, it's not like there's always something going on here. There's, you know, things, I mean, especially the last couple of days. Get up early. We have a meeting at 7 a.m. in the morning. You're on the boat by 9 a.m. burning out to the mothership, and then you're out there and wiring things up and sorting, you know. And then the other amazing thing in my experience was, you know, you have this idea in your head that, okay, last heat's over, and you're like, oh, great, yeah, we can all just relax and have a bit of a, you know, sit out there and watch the sun go down. But what ends up happening is that, Takuma, did you want to speak a few minutes to Ben Prophet on Windsurf? Hey, we got another victim. What I was going to say was that,
hello, what's up, Ben?
How's your head?
Show, go up to the camera and show the side of your face. Like, here's the, yeah, but like, go closer.
Check my new tattoo.
Oh,
from
dude. Oh, that's proper.
That's pretty gnarly. Super gnarly.
But it's okay for just hit the reef. I'm fine.
That looks brutal, mate. Can I just ask you, is it in this one? I'm trying to, like...
He's going to...
I was going to try and find it, but I don't know what's happening there. Oh, no, that's the... I think... Was it this crash? Not that you might want to not relive it. I don't know. Not that one.
I think the finals, the second wave. No, not one. I think second wave.
There was some brutal beatdowns, weren't there? I'm looking forward to seeing them all again.
There was one where you...
I tried the aerials, I crashed.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that was the one I was trying to find it. I can't remember where it is actually, but you might be right. Maybe it was in this one. Let's have a look. But yeah, so what happened? How did you do it? I'll see if I can find it. But
We're just looking into an iPhone, so it's obviously
Oh,
it's quite
okay.
small, but we can sort of see.
yeah, no, I'm just having a quick scan through.
That's all right. We can see it. We just have to.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find it, but
Yeah, the video is quite long, isn't it? So
yeah, no, I don't know. There's too many. Oh, that could be it. Yeah, is that it? I think that's it. If that's not
Yeah,
it,
I think that one. Ah, that
Yeah.
one.
that looks pretty nasty, dude. Jesus, you just caught the lip.
Yeah.
Oh. And so
No.
tell me.
So wait,
So-
did you?
so-
At what point did you? Oh, sorry. Go on,
Yeah,
Bill.
no, maybe you ask him. It's better because there's no delay. You can do the interview.
Oh, no. It's just because I haven't spoken to anyone about any of this footage yet because I just haven't time. But now that I look at that, did you just go straight? Like you just hit the water, just went straight down into the reef? Or,
No, I think in there.
Oh, you got tumbled.
Yeah.
Damn. How shallow you reckon it was there? Like how deep do you think the water was? I mean, could you tell? I mean,
I think there was so shallow because just inside the section,
yeah.
there's the rock section over the break. I think so shallow.
Yeah.
Maybe the
you're not walking over it. Is it like 6 foot or 4 foot, 5 foot?
If
Who
you
knows?
look at the picture on
it's
your
shallow.
here, I
screen,
think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, look at the
you-
size of the wave. Yeah.
but look at the
How
picture
shallow
on your
it is.
screen and then look at the bit of water in front.
Yeah,
There's
that
like
end
a big
section is.
rocky bit. That don't
Oh,
look good.
but
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. So my gear does not break.
Really?
I'm so lucky.
Rocky.
Yeah.
That's
Just cut them my face. Yeah.
I love the way he says he's so lucky and he's got this massive cut on his face. Let's have a look at the camera. Let me just remove.
That's gnarly, dude. Gnarly. Very good. He had a good attitude. He said, "Oh, the good thing is it's better my face than my gear." He said, but yeah, we said when I first saw it.
Oh my god,
Anyway,
that looks
I
pretty
love
bad.
Broadway.
So what position did you end up in the end?
In the fourth.
You came fourth, man. You
Yeah.
came fourth. How good's that?
That's pretty solid, mate. Cloud break, Fiji.
Thank
Fourth.
you. I'm first time on the final in the PWA. I'm so happy to
Good
be in
job,
the
man.
final.
You were sailing really good.
Thank you.
What?
Yeah,
Which?
it's good- it's
Which
good to
tack
see the
do you
Jap-
prefer? Starboard tack or port tack? Do you prefer?
I think starboard tack.
So
I
Maui.
never turning the port tack offshore. Never. I never been to the Chile somewhere. Only
Okay.
Japan.
Okay, so that's pretty impressive. Cloud break if you've never really sailed it down the line. Impressive. Double thumbs.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Well, fourth place.
It's a good
You're
good
in,
introduction to that tack.
Yeah. Bloody hell. That's like, I think I could pick easier
Yeah,
places
so
to sort
for
of.
sure I have to train more.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Fourth place is not bad. Not sure how much more training you need.
Nah, it's all right. There's a bit of a delay. You go, Benny. You go. We're having a few connection issues, but I think it's back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just I don't like speaking because if it's delayed, you start speaking and then you hear me start, and I've already stopped, and then there's a whole help them. So I apologise if people are tuning in and wondering why I can't actually speak. The delay, if you've ever had a delay, is more tricky to do, but it's been a bit in and out this connection. But I'll finish it up by saying, Takuma, good job, mate. Well done. Fourth place, legend. The Japanese are definitely pushing hard.
See you in the puzzle.
Yeah, I'll see you in Pozo. I'll be there on the 13th.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go 16.
Okay, I will see you there.
And then my brother are going to there. My brother.
Really? I haven't met your brother.
Yeah, little brother. He's 12 years old.
Blimmin' heck! There's a lot of Japanese young kids pushing through. Good to see.
He has a big ball.
Really? I don't think we're allowed to talk about 12-year-old kids like that, but okay, good to know.
Okay, great.
Hey, cheers, dude.
So, yeah.
There we go.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you what. See you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the Japanese crew, you've
All
got
right,
to say.
Benny. Well.
Yeah. No, carry on. Just don't stop. Carry on talking.
Oh no. I was going to say it's interesting. The Japanese, they're pretty gnarly, pretty gnarly bunch.
Yeah. Okay, dude. I know you've had a long day, so I'm going to let you go. We're going to wrap up this stream. Massive thanks, everyone. Obviously, subscribe to Mr. Paul Van Bellen's YouTube channel. There will be some behind-the-scenes stuff coming. Just don't pester him for at least a day. Give him at least a day off, and then you can.
Oh, only a day. Wow. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed longer than that. I want to see some stuff, man. That's one more question.
I filmed
one more question.
Yep.
Is everyone staying around from what you've heard, or are they leaving? Like, if I was in Fiji until the 11th, already booked, I'd stay. But I heard people are leaving. Is that normal? Is that what's the feeling on the street?
Yeah, look, I think I've noticed quite a few people are booking tickets to leave in the next day or two because, I guess work, family, kids, whatever, bits and pieces. So I think maybe half are staying to the 12th and half are leaving early or something like that.
Okay.
Give or take. But, but I was going to say regarding edits, I filmed everything today in 4K on my drone because, I had my controller connected to an HDMI cable that was getting sent to the mixing desk, and that gets broadcast in 1080. Even though you probably didn't end up seeing 1080 because the internet connection might not be able to handle that quality connection. But on the drone, I had a memory card, and that was filming everything in 4K. And I also have 4K footage in the first big day. So I've got ultra high quality footage of all these waves, and I'll make my own edit with, I don't know, maybe a bit of music or something, whatever, when I get back, and just have some fun with it. Because they're 4K, I can sort of crop the images and manipulate it a bit to get a bit closer to the action and try and, improve it even more. So I sort of look forward to that, but that might take me a few weeks to get on.
Stop making me excited, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to be just stoked going through that footage because there's so many sick waves. Like usually when I film, I'm lucky if I get a few good waves with some decent sailors, but it's been an absolute treat to have the world's best sailors in arguably the world's best wave and in big conditions. So.
I have a question. Can we please have an old school wipeout section?
Oh, you mean just a whole separate section just for wipe rather than it mixed in with the video?
When I grew up, there was always a wipeout section. And it was always, as a kid, my favorite bit. Obviously, maybe that's why Send It Sunday happens now. But, it was always my favorite bit.
Did you have fun today, Ben?
Oh, my God.
Very good, mate. Very good.
Did you enjoy the middle of the night?
I was fine, actually. I got a baby, so, I was up anyway. 4 in the morning.
Well,
it was perfect. Good job, man. Good job.
Good day, Brian. Brian's relieved.
It was a great day.
Well done,
Yeah.
Brian.
Good job.
Was amazing. It was amazing. But yeah, going back to your original question, the wipeout. Sorry, you're saying you want a video, and at the end of the video, a wipeout section. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I don't know, because it's stopped happening, and it always at the end of every video I have ever watched back in the day, there was always the last section was the wipeout section. I guess this day and age everything's separate videos now, so it would be a separate video would be a wipeout section or whatever. But in the old school, you'd watch a 20-minute video, and then the wipeout section would always be the, you know, I always remember the one from Plug and Play with Anders Bringdal getting absolutely nailed at jaws and stuff like this. And this event has got, I mean, if you've got all them in 4K, there is some freaking crazy stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to go through it myself, because when I was filming it, there was a few times. There was one, I just remember one set in one heat, I don't even remember now, it was all a blur, where just about, it was like a 3 or 4 wave set, and it was just one man after another were just going down. Do you remember that particular heat?
Which one?
The one people just getting axed one way. What's that?
I think I put it on earlier. I filmed it with my phone and put it on my story because it looked so good. The drone shot had the waves stacked up in the background, and you could see the car
that
coming.
one. Yeah.
So one got smashed, and then you could see the next guy coming in, and then it was zoom in, he'd get smashed. It was brutal.
Oh, it was gnarly, and like the wave was just like rearing up and just getting super hollow, and they were almost like floating over the lip and just absolutely eating shit. I was on the boat, and I was just going, oh my god, because people on the boat couldn't see it all, because like you don't have, like, I have a way better view than everyone else on the boat because I'm looking at it, and they're like, what happened? I go, oh my god, that guy just ate shit. He's probably dead.
It was like when you see Takuma and his face, honestly, like that looks bad. Like it's not bad yet, but it will get worse. I was like, oh my god, it's scary, very scary.
That guy, he's tough. He's laughing about it. He's a tough kid. God.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, that's cool. I'll definitely keep that in mind. A wipeout section at the end of a video. So yeah, cool.
Sounds good, man. All right, I'll let you go. Right. Maybe have a beer or something.
I need a good sleep.
Oh, you don't drink, do you? You don't drink. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker, but no. Look, I will. Yeah, if I have a good sleep, I actually feel pretty good considering. But I'm due for like a 10-hour sleep.
Well, enjoy that, man. Enjoy that.
Cool. Oh, yeah, and also thanks to you, Benny, for I've seen, a lot of people here have seen your your posts, talking about the event and really getting excited about it, because that's what's needed to share, to get interest and get people excited about it. You've been so good with that. So super cool.
It's easy. I think it's easy when you've got an event like this. You feel like you want people to know about it, because I just see all the effort that's going in, and maybe everything's not perfect, because it never is perfect. But I think perfection, if you've seen any of my videos or my caravan, you'll realize perfection is overrated anyway. It's more about the content. So
yeah, no, that's it. And no, it's been a really interesting experience. And like I said, I'll try and get these videos out, and you have something more to talk about and some interesting things. So
cool, man.
Yeah, cool, Benny. All
right,
right,
dude. Well, sleep well. Good job.
Thanks, Benny. I'll speak to you next time.
Yeah, see you in a bit. There we go, Paul Van Bellen. That is it. Wraps up Fiji 2023. Baptiste Claret winning the men, like absolutely destroyed, I think, the field for me all week. So glad he won. Second place, Ricardo Campello. Not that he went under the radar, but he kind of did. And then even in the final, that last wave near the end was what gave him the second place. And then Swifty, Great Britain, up in third place. And that's solid, because that guy has been fighting hard to make events like this happen. He's fought ages ago for Chile, and then he's been one of the guys who's been instrumental in putting the IWT with the PWA to try and, switch the tours over, maybe lowering certain standards of certain things, prize money and stuff, but to gain conditions, which means the riders take it on the chin. you know, organisers as well, but the riders take it on the chin, and they're basically saying, right, we've got to do something proper like this to get the interest back, to maybe get the money back in. So it's a bit of chicken and egg, and the sailors have finally decided to go, right, let's go. We're the chicken or the egg, or I don't know which one it is. Anyway, that's that. And fourth place to Kumasugi, really good. And the women, Sarah Hauser absolutely killed it, like really good. I mean, she would probably be top tip. She sailed here before, obviously from Maui, so maybe not her way around, but she's from New Caledonia, and used to sailing that big old reef, and it definitely paid off today. First place, Sarah Keita, second place, getting over her fears, and I think Jessica Crisp in fourth place. Pretty solid outcome. We're not going to see a Masters, so we're not going to see Bjorn Dunkerbeck, Kai, and the Aussie and everyone else going for it, but doesn't matter. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Massive thanks to Paul for doing all the behind the scenes stuff. Keep your eye on his channel because there will be more of that sort of stuff. Pozo is coming up at the end of this month. I'm going to be leaving on about the 13th, do some 2 weeks of training diaries there. Again, stay tuned to the channel. If you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Chuck in some beers. Maybe support Paul. I don't know if he's got like a little beer money. He doesn't drink beer, but maybe you can buy him a cup of coffee or something, because I genuinely think he is a really big thing of windsurfing now, and he could do way more. You just need the little bit of motivation. So the comments, a little bit of cash, doesn't have to be a lot, but that little bit of incentive where you think, people appreciate it, gives you that motivation you need. It's never going to be paid like a proper job, but again, those little bit of motivations help. I know, trust me. So there we go. Massive thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you for the next one. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't even know what I'm doing. I've got no clue, but I have enjoyed this event. It has been epic, and I'm trying to find my end button because I don't know where it is. I'll see you for the next one.